There is good.
Shannon, how's it going?
All right. Okay.
Art, we are having technical difficulties right now.
What a good show. What a good topic this is. Cause so bad I want to say, sorry.
Yeah, no, definitely not. How we doing?
Hey, we're doing good. Welcome to the Ebs and Ivory show, where today we are just grateful to be alive and well. And
Yes, and it's Friday.
and it's Friday. Yeah, how you
Look,
doing?
good. I'm good. I'm cracking myself up here as we definitely do not hide the fact that we are on this journey and not everything is perfect, but you never stop, you never quit. And today, we do not apologize or say sorry for anything.
Sorry, not sorry.
You see it right there.
Well, welcome to the Ebs and Ivory show. I am Shay, and
I am Dee.
happy Friday, and you are listening to episode 7.
7.
Oh gosh, that still says 6. Oh my
Oh,
goodness. Episode 6B.
hmm, we don't care. It is 7.
It is 7. This is episode 7. Right, put the 7 there. We got it. Boom, just made it 7. And we are well and we are fine and very excited. Today we are jumping into a topic that is really near and dear to us. So in our space, we don't use the word sorry, right? We're always catching each other and catching the folks who are in our accountability group, like, no, don't say sorry, you're not sorry. So we want to talk about that today and talk about understanding, especially for women, why it is so easy to say sorry. Today, we're going to give you some other words to use instead of sorry. Then we're going to give you a task, but we'll get into that. So, my friend, how how you want to jump this thing off?
So let's jump it off by just understanding like what is the true definition? What's the
Oh,
true definition of sorry? You
now it,
know? Let's think about it that way. And
okay.
I know that we're going to do some action items at the end, but I am going to bring us an impromptu exercise.
Okay.
Hopefully. So I'm going to read two true definitions of the word sorry. Feeling distressed, especially through sympathy with someone else's misfortune. So, as an example, I was sorry to hear about what happened to your family. And number two, feeling regret or penitence. He was sorry. He said he was sorry. He had upset me. So just understanding the definition of the word, right? That's
Mhm.
going to take us into what are some of the things or the other ways that you would express the same type of feeling or have, I don't know, we don't really call them adjectives, right? Or anything like that, but another word
Yeah,
that you would
adjective,
use.
right?
And yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Hmm.
And I think women generally, you said, women tend to say sorry more often. Why do you think that is?
Because of just trying to please and make sure everyone's okay is what I'm guessing, right? For myself. And I just wanted to say this too. This actually does tie into 6, right? So we talked about your our apology language, and this is such a good follow-up to that because when we speak about our apology language too, we want to know how to apologize without saying the words, I'm sorry. When I think of that now that it's been a thing for me, so I'm always like, you're not sorry. And now I'm wondering, like, is that like offensive to someone? It's already hard enough to say I'm sorry. Those are two of the hardest words to say other than Worcestershire sauce. But those are two of the harder words to say. I'm sorry. And then when someone says it to me, I'll right away go, you're not sorry. You've never been sorry a day in your life. Because
Yeah,
that's what I want to encourage that person. But so what I hear now is I'm sorry. And I hear if someone says it to me, I hear them saying, I'm sorry. And I don't want anyone in to feel sorry. Like that's a, I remember my grandmom saying like, would a aunt's boyfriend or uncle's girlfriend or something, they'd come over the house and she'd be like, oh, that's sorry, dot, 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 and I'm like, like that's not what you want to be. So I know for me, I think it just is something easy to say. And I think a lot of times we use words without really getting the full intent behind them. Like right now, we're on this love journey where we're really recognizing love. So if we really took the time to pause the sorry in the first place, I think this is good when we're apologizing, just not to say the words, because sometimes it's easy to just say the words. And I think maybe that was where my sorries were coming from a lot, just because those are the two words to say to make it right. And does it really make it right if it's just these two words that you're throwing around?
Yeah, yeah, that's a good point. Hard word for me, not Worcestershire, but aluminum. For a long, long, long time, I'd always add the extra num. When I think back too about maybe why it's so easy, it's a cop out, right? It's easy to be like, yeah, I'm
Mm,
sorry.
hmm
Yeah, I said it, so accept it, kind of
hmm
thing. And we
hmm
know when we did our apology language, we know that that is not the right avenue or the way to really kind of make it up. Like you have to have a plan to stop doing what
Wow.
you're doing to upset or whatever. So sometimes I'm sorry is it's easy. It's easy to
Oh,
say it. I'm
lets you
sorry,
off
right?
the hook.
It does get you off the hook. It's
And
the
it
big
lets
old
the other
cop
person
out.
off the hook
Well,
sometimes.
sure,
Hmm
sure. Especially if they don't understand what their apology language is, because they're going to hear it and they'll be like, "Oh yeah, I got the I'm sorry." Really?
hmm
Uh-huh.
Right,
Really?
right.
Right?
Are you going to
Yeah.
do better next time, or are you going to do the same thing over and expect that? That's good. Well,
Ex
I looked up something here that said women especially say that they are sorry when they haven't done anything wrong. No wonder a study at the University of Waterloo in Canada found that females apologize more frequently than men. It can be easy to slip into that habit of apology speak, which is what Shara Miller calls it. She calls it apology speak in order to diffuse tension or avoid being disliked. Whoa.
avoid tension. That's a really good one. That
hmm
goes with the what did we just say? But yeah, avoid tension or I don't know that I don't know that I would have related it to avoid being disliked, but someone who isn't isn't comfortable with a group of people or maybe, but that's a very interesting concept actually.
hmm
You know what I mean?
People who are like, we've all probably at some point or know people in our lives who are like people pleasers. And
Right?
and now the I'm sorry part makes sense. Like I did that to you. I'm just so sorry. I'm just a sorry person for doing that to you. And that's pretty interesting. That's pretty interesting. I'm looking at an article here on Forbes too that says if you find yourself saying I'm sorry all the time, because of little things like you forgot to text a friend back or you accidentally bump into someone at the grocery store. So I'll do this all the time. Someone bumps me at the grocery store, especially like if it's a young woman, I'll be like, they'll say sorry, and I'll always stop them and I'll say, you've never been sorry a day in your life. And then I
Right?
um um find another word. I say, out of everything that's going on in this world today, bumping me with that car is not the thing that we should be apologizing for. And it's okay. And they always stop, like, you know what? Wow, I never thought about that. Da, 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 da. So I said, you tell the next person who tells that to you. So because we use the word, like I said, you just throw it around so much. You bumped into one. Like you said, you didn't text a friend back. Like, really?
Yeah. And it's so like you to come back with that. You've never been sorry a day in your life because I am the encourager. I am the one blessing you with all of the good things. And so, and when you think about it though, too, have you ever used it like in like an argument, like you're so sorry,
What I mean. That's what I meant. That's how my grandma used it,
right?
or my grandma used it as a derogatory like insult.
Yeah, yeah. I'm trying to think just quickly if I'm sure I've said something very similar to that.
Hmm.
Like you're that he's just a sorry
Right,
piece of poo poo, you
right,
know.
right. My girl was
And
good. She's a sorry dot dot dot. You could
you,
fill in the dots, but I was like, oh,
yeah, but when you say that and understanding the definition that we opened up about, like it doesn't even really make sense. It's just
mm-mm.
like a lack of vocabulary at that point,
Right.
right?
At that point, you're just
Or
trying to hurt some. You're just
you're just
trying
trying
to
to be
use the
meaningful.
words to hurt. Right.
Yeah, yeah, because it doesn't. I mean, I guess you could say that that person is a misfortune of some sort,
Right.
or they're they
Selfish.
may, yeah, yeah. So you might as well just say it's selfish piece
Really,
of poo
really use
poo.
your words to be clear because you know what, too, like we just said, you let the person off the hook. And that goes by saying if a person really did something to you that we can minimize the words down to you sorry, dot, 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 then we're really not clearly telling them, no, you did this to me, and no, you're not sorry. Let's talk about what it is you did so that you understand what it is you did so that next time we can either avoid that or work through it. So I
Right,
didn't like the way I needed your help one time and I asked you for it or didn't, and you saw that I was in need and you didn't come for me. You know,
right.
I'm sorry. No, let's talk through this because so that would be now, let me ask you something. Give me some examples. So we said you bump into someone accidentally at the store, you're saying sorry. You don't text a friend back. Give me another reason why you would hear a woman, especially or a man in this scenario too, saying the words, I'm sorry.
Mm, right. I always love how you
Like
throw me a
general, like
real,
just random. It's just every day you're in your, in your work life. Why
yeah,
would
but I think, yeah, that's the most general one though. You're walking in the store and you bump somebody, in the hallway or hit their card. Maybe when you take a car spot,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
you're like rushing to get in this spot and you get out and you kind of be like, sorry,
Right,
like you do so sorry I got it first, I'm
right.
not regretful, but I'm saying the word sorry. Also too, like if you're in the kitchen and you're making dinner with the family
Mhm.
and you're in the middle of a phone call or a work call comes in,
Right,
right? You might come storming in the house and you're kind of like, sorry, you
right.
know, didn't recognize that you were on the phone, or everybody's in kind of one spot, like sorry. So there should be some examples too. I'll probably get comments from our listeners, but in general, a guy comes in, he's on the phone call, he's just walking through the door, he's not being like sorry.
No, right. Right, right.
Right, so
Exactly. I
no,
I can feel that. I see that.
yeah, no hate out there, guys. Don't drop a whole lot of comments. I'm not like picking on either side,
No,
but
guys,
you
we lift
just feel
you guys
like
up too. But while
yeah,
you're on there, like and share and comment.
subscribe.
What about this one? What about you're in a meeting, right? And
Yeah.
you start cough. What's the first thing? Sorry,
Yep.
excuse me. Now I'll say excuse me, but it's
Excuse
like,
me.
oh, sorry.
Yeah.
So
For the
that's
disruption.
right.
Anytime there's a disruption, right? It would be easy to go to the sorry for that disruption, right?
Hmm.
But that's good. And that's why we want to talk about this. Or what are some of the other words, or how can we uh, ask for the same meaning without using the word sorry, right?
Right.
We know that sorry can maybe it means that you're feeling guilty about something, right? And you wouldn't say, well, I'm feeling guilty, so I'm saying I'm sorry,
Right.
right?
Right.
Even though
Hmm.
and this is why I'm excited to do this exercise. I'm going to hold off on it. I'll wait for it, but this is going to be a little bit fun. The other thing too that I feel like we wouldn't say, even though we know what that word means, would be I said guilty or regretful,
Regretful.
right? You wouldn't be like, feeling
I'm
regretful for
regretful,
that. I'm feeling regretful,
but that's the
right?
truth.
But
But
it is.
that
That
would be
is,
speaking the truth. That would be the
yes,
recognizing the love. That would be recognizing the reason that I'm going to say I'm sorry. Like, why? Because I'm regretful, because I embarrassed you, or because, really saying what the words are. Because I cut you off, or because I coughed in a meeting.
upset you, right? Um, how to apologize to someone if you've upset them. That's
Right.
that's that's like a particular action that you want to be remorseful for, right?
Do you think people will respect better? And we should try this. If you said instead of saying sorry, um, saying what it is, like actually giving it a name. Like, okay, instead of saying sorry the next time, I didn't mean to bump you with the cart. I hope you're okay.
Right, right.
Because that's why I'm going to say it because maybe I hurt you. So I want to be able to say I'm going to jump back into this article here. Um, there is a book out there called Open Your Mind, Change Your Life. It's called The Source, Open Your Mind, Change Your Life. And it says serial apologists. It's the name for the people who do it all the time. Mostly do
Serial, stop
serial
it.
apologists.
Serial apologist.
The whole name. There's a whole tribe of these people. Mostly do it out of one, bad habit, or just out of habit,
Oh, bad habit. It's a
out of
habit.
stemming from childhood where they were made to feel wrong or fearful of punishment.
Ooh, big one. Big one.
Apologizing when we have done something wrong is a real strength, but compulsive apologizing presents as a weakness at work or in personal relationships. It's time for women to kick the apology habit and take their power back. And there's three strategies. We'll get into those after we do the exercise because we want you to hang on. We're going to give you these three strategies and we are going to make you think of how many ways you are not sorry and sorry, not sorry.
I'm sorry, not sorry. So let's go into this exercise, right? We are just completely impromptu today.
We are.
You know?
But
All right.
it's a topic that, boom.
Yeah. So we're going to play around with this for, I don't know, maybe 5 or 10 minutes. And some of the examples that you just talked about. So this is from Dr. Heidi McKenzie with Integrity Psychological Services.
Hmm.
And she recommends this exercise replacing sorry. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
With the word thank you.
Oh,
Now, hear me out. So instead of I'm sorry, here's an example. I'm sorry for being late. Try saying thank you for waiting on me.
ooh, I like it.
Or, or instead of saying, I'm sorry to ask you to do this for me, you could say, thank you so much for taking the time to help me today. Now, let's use that one word, talk through how we can change that up,
That's power.
right? Right
Mhm.
now, look, now you don't even feel regretful when you say it. Now
Mhm.
you're in charge,
Right,
essentially, or you said power, you're getting empowerment because
right.
you're not, when you think about the word, we talked about the definition and the other meanings. Sorry can mean that you're unhappy, you're depressed, you're feeling resentful or remorseful. You're feeling hurt, right?
Hmm.
Now you're empowered. You'll be like, okay, so let's think through a couple of examples. As that one was. Okay, so okay, here's a good one. Say that you are delayed in
Hmm.
replying to an email.
Okay.
Generally
Mm.
speaking, somebody
Okay.
might just be like, "So sorry, I'm delayed in my email."
Right.
How can we use this example with
Okay.
thank you to replace it? Go, go,
So
come on.
here we go. You know me, I like a good
I know.
role play.
I throw up the hand.
Okay. So I didn't reply to the email. It's a week later. It was something that they needed from me. And now you really want to just be like, I'm sorry to get
Sorry.
past it. But I'm gonna say thank you for understanding that this week has been really hectic. I have
Nice.
now found the time to give your email the thought that it required and send you an answer back.
Look at you.
Did I
Now,
do that?
see, you did that really good. But so how did you feel when you
I
did
felt
that?
good. I felt good. And when you were saying that too, what it does too is it takes the person, like you know how like if what you're going to remember, if somebody you can remember people who said to you, I'm sorry. because
Yeah,
now it gives it like a type of onus. Like now you owe me something because you're sorry. But
you
when you
said you were
say
sorry.
thank you, you don't think about that no more. Like, wow, that was pretty. She's a class act. She was okay. She didn't mean it. It would really, but when you say sorry, I never heard you'll hear somebody go like, oh, they really didn't mean it. But if you say thank you for
Yeah,
allowing me to explain to you why I didn't email you back. My week was hectic and I needed to give your email thought. It's like, she's all right. You know what I mean? You see how that did that?
right. Yeah,
Now, imagine me saying, I'm sorry I didn't get back to you.
point, period. Then you're kind of like on the other end of it, like, well, great, thank you,
They're
right?
lazy. They didn't respond.
Yeah,
They didn't have an answer. They're unprepared.
they're sorry.
They're sorry, dot, dot, dot.
I think about that. I wouldn't have connected the dots here on this particular piece right now until just now at this moment. I remember, in the past in my job, sometimes people don't understand the urgency of others, right? Or what their timeline might look at. So in the same example, someone sends you an email, that other person on the other side is they're sitting there waiting for that reply to come right back,
Right.
right? Because that person doesn't know what's going on in your world, at your desk, in your job, in your day, right? And this could be real life too, outside of a job. This could be a parent, a friend, or whatever. You're sitting there
Right.
like, okay, here's the
Why didn't you
question,
text me
just
back? I
reply,
texted you
right?
2 minutes
Or
ago.
or even with a text. And so then you'll get the next one, right? It'd be like second request,
Hmm.
uh, from yesterday, no reply, and so in this case, this is
Right.
where this is a great opportunity to not say, well, I'm sorry, but uh, thank you. I appreciate your follow up,
Right.
right?
Ooh,
Thank you.
I
I
like
appreciate your follow up,
that.
and I'm not sorry, but I do appreciate you reminding me that I forgot to do
Mm.
something. But thank you. I appreciate the follow up.
Yeah.
So allow me by end of day, or I promise
Right.
to get back with you. And this is the same goes with
Oh, this is
um
good. This is
with
some
text.
tools, man. This is
This
in
is
the
this
toolbox.
yeah, I mean it's the same thing with the text, right?
Right.
You can just yeah.
Right.
So I loved that. That's one really good word. How you can we like to say reverse it or flip it
Right.
upside down, right?
Wow. So now I'm trying to think of a time the last time you said sorry. So kind of think back with this too. Trying to think back of a real life, or it could not, if it wasn't the last time, a time that you said sorry. And I would say, oh, I have a good one.
Oh, let's hear it.
OMG. I just read this in one of my, how like social media will give you like what video, messages from posts from 5, 10 years ago. Well, I remember I worked at it was at a job, and and this woman comes in and I'm like, oh my God, you're pregnant.
Oh,
Congratulations.
I know where you're going.
Congratulations. Oh my goodness. Like I'm so happy for you. And she was like,
Not
I'm not
pregnant.
pregnant. My baby is 2. I was
You
like,
know,
I'm devastated. I was like, I am so sorry. But then what did I do after I said that was, well, hell, don't feel bad. My daughter's 24 or whatever it was. Like, well, my daughter's 20. My baby, the last baby I had is 25 years old. So I made it, I did say sorry, but then I spun it into a joke. I spun it into a joke to make them feel comfortable because I had just probably embarrassed her. So what would you have said in that situation instead of I'm sorry and then turning it around and making it like into a joke?
with the same thank you.
With the same thank you.
Okay. Okay, this is the hot seat. This isn't the fun seat. This is the hot seat. I think I would have said something like, um, oh my gosh, I didn't realize, but thank you for not making me feel stupid for saying something, you know, just ridiculous at this moment. I haven't seen you in a long time. And I just remember the last time we connected, you were ready and getting ready to build a family. So just thank you for allowing me not to feel stupid in this situation. And by the way, I I have a 33-year-old and I'm still in the same space as
I
I
see what you
was.
did there.
You know,
I'm about to be on my way to your house to give you a high
I
five. You did
we can
that.
do it. We can do it virtually.
Oh, wow. How did that feel?
A little empowering.
Didn't it?
I didn't feel like I needed to cover
Flip
up
down.
or be belittled, right? Even though I was belittled in that conversation, right? Or
That was
maybe that should have been the word. Thank you for not belittling me
right.
by your response,
Right.
right? That would have been even better, probably.
Thank you for
If I
being
was,
a good sport because I
oh, good sport.
am not the one to sit here and say that when I have a baby who's not a baby. So now think of a
Or,
time,
or that I still have my 10
pillow.
pound baby pillow.
Look at all this baby bump I still have. So now think of a time when you said sorry and spin it back. Let me see what I would have said.
Okay, all right. So let me think through this. Give me just a second. You had about a minute to come up with
And
one.
and why did I think of one from so long? But you see
So
how I held on to that? I remember that.
right,
Yeah.
right. Because you were bothered that you did that,
Right.
you know? Okay, so let's take a look here. Let me think. Let me be quick. Think of a time that um 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 I don't
That's okay.
know. Okay. I huh?
You can come back.
Yeah, I think so. Let me think through it a second. Um yeah, I don't know.
Thinking I've heard you say it so many times, and I'm like, you're not that. Like
I know, right. I'm thinking like just standard scenarios.
anything.
That's why we're doing this. Yeah. Okay, last night, Alex and Sandy, this whole week at the house has been a little crazy. This wasn't me, this was him actually. And so now I can hear how you will reply to it. So, the house has been crazy. The kids are moving. We had to pull up the carpet. They're doing the wood floors. So my house is in disarray. Furniture's everywhere. It's pre put together, all of the things. And then the kids are trying to work their full-time jobs and then come home and do the second thing. And so, like last night, we're in passing because that's how it's been for the last week. Alex was like, "We're so sorry, Mom. I haven't even got to see you this week. We haven't had a chance to sit down and chat."
Wow.
And I'm like, "Well, don't be sorry, right?" But that's how I left it. So I
Right.
don't know if that's a good example for you or
That's a
not.
great example because now that example of you allowed him to stay in that state of being sorry
Space,
for something that he can't be sorry, he shouldn't be sorry for. So
right?
it was a perfect example because now this is going to flip it around about how we made the other person feel. I'm sorry by him saying that, and you just accepting his apology for something that he shouldn't apologize, left him off the hook, and also left you off the hook because I'm sure you wanted to spend time with him too. So I would
Absolutely.
now that I would have said, I would have said, as if I would have said that before this call. Before this call, I probably would have said, oh, it's okay, don't worry about it. But now would say, um,
Oh,
oh,
I already know. I know what I would say now. Go on. You do it. You do it.
I'm going to say it from his point, and then you give me
Yep.
the answer back.
Yep.
So, Mom, I thank you for being such a wonderful friend and mom to me. I enjoy spending time with you so much, and I wish that I had more time to spend with you this week. And the fact that we didn't, I was bummed out. Thanks, babe. I was bummed out of the fact that we didn't. So let's put some time together so we can hang out.
Yes. Yes. That's exactly right. Exactly right. Because I did. I just kind of left the room like, no need to be sorry. I mean, we're all busy, right?
It was a
Yes.
sweet
So
thing to say, but not, now that we're
talking
getting our
about the
words together,
word.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
What would you say?
Absolutely. The reply would now be like, well, thank you. Thank you for being cognizant of the fact that it's been crazy around here, and we've only seen each other maybe a couple hours this week, and love ya, and we'll catch up this weekend.
Wow. Do you feel that? Do you feel
Yeah,
that warm fuzz that's dripping out?
yeah. Oh, that's love.
That's love. I stopped my husband today and I said, babe, that's love. And he just was
Yeah.
like, huh? I was like, I'm gonna probably be saying that all weekend because I'm really like the love is real. So get with it because that is love. That's love.
Yeah.
He said,
So,
that's right.
oh, that's super sweet. So, isn't this a great, just one
It is.
way, one exercise to rethink how you can respond, or if you are feeling in a place that you are feeling apologetic or you want to say sorry, how even the delivery
Hmm.
feels different than me just kind of big. Sorry, I hurt your feelings yesterday, but get over
Oh,
it.
don't worry
I hope
about it.
you're.
It's okay.
Yeah,
Let's
you know what
try
I
that
mean.
back.
Right. I'd be
I'm
like,
sorry I hurt your
okay,
feelings yesterday. Thank you for understanding that I really didn't mean to hurt your feelings yesterday. I was having a tough day.
yes, or thank you for thank you for what you said, but I'm not sure you really realized, how it affected me. So, or something like that as
Or
well.
thank you for saying that, but you really didn't hurt my feelings. It gave me something to think about. This is like a
Oh,
game. This is
I
so
know.
much fun. Oh, wow. Like, that's great. We're going to kick around. We're going to talk through a little bit of the strategies that I was talking about. So, for women, especially to kick the habit of always thinking that we need to apologize and take power back, there are three simple strategies. And one was practice self-awareness. The first step to is to become more self-aware. Notice how many times throughout your day you're apologizing in the first place. Start a log for the week and write down each time you say the word sorry. You may be surprised at how many times you use the word without even realizing it. See if you can identify triggers like certain people or situations that make
Hmm.
you over apologize. Begin checking your emails to see how often you've used the word sorry.
Sorry.
There is even a handy Gmail plug in called Just Not Sorry that warns you when you write emails using words with which undermine your message. Wow. So there's a
Wow.
email
There's
that
a, yeah,
what do you
very
think about
nice.
that? So that's one. Practice self-awareness. That was good.
I love that. I love that because just like anything, it's also about what we talked about last week is understanding whether or not you're truly accountable and coachable. Self awareness ties into that because the more you see yourself saying no to your goals or yourself,
Hmm.
you become self aware. So if I'm responding and writing and acknowledging how many times I might use the word sorry, and is it driven by a particular person or an action or whatever, that's a great strategy. I
Hmm.
love that. The more
And
you see
then
stuff in your face, just the more you know how to make that change. That's your mindset.
absolutely. And you don't know what you don't know. Like that
You
thank you
don't.
thing, that's a game changer. Like
I
boom.
I think it is too. I was so
That's
glad
going.
that we
I
did
can't
that.
wait. I can't wait till something goes awry. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna jump in like, hey, sorry, like, sorry. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The other one was be confident and intentional. Over apologizing doesn't send a message of strength. Instead, it minimizes yourself, your presence, and your contribution. Try to be more direct in your work communications and even in your life. Being more intentional in how you express yourself will help you be seen as a leader and a trusted authority. How you feel about that one?
I feel big about that because we just experienced that in this exercise.
Yeah.
When we came in to talk about just opening up a conversation to say, I'm sorry about the way you made me feel versus, thank you for what you said, but it really didn't make me feel that way or whatever the scenario is. It does give you that level of empowerment. Each time we did that, and we were like bantering back and forth,
Yeah.
it was a stronger feeling than the word sorry because that's demeaning in itself. Yeah.
Look at the words we came up when the person didn't reply to the email and the response was, I'm sorry. It was like, oh, they didn't do it. They were unprepared. They were lazy. They're not
I'm
taking
not a
the
priority. I'm not
right.
important. All the
So by
things.
spinning it around, it changed that whole thing. So that's awesome. And the third one, which I thought was this is going to be good. You said this earlier, change your vocabulary. Boom. If your work project is 4 weeks overdue, that sounds like an excellent opportunity to apologize to your boss. However, there are times when an apology isn't necessary. Some examples could include instances where you use phrases like, Sorry, could you send me the report? Sorry, I won't be able to make it that day. Sorry, could you repeat that? Oh, dang, that's crazy. Or sorry, I was late. As you become more self-aware, replace the word sorry with more appropriate phrases like, could you please send me that report? Unfortunately, I won't be able to make it that day. Excuse me, could you repeat that? Thank you for waiting for me.
Oh, perfect. And I could have used thank you in all four of those replies. Thank you for reaching out. Thank you for the follow up. Thank you for waiting for me. I don't know that I understood the excuse me one because that seemed, maybe out, but
Or even thank
again,
you, I can't make it that day, unfortunately. Instead of unfortunately, because I don't
unfortunately,
like that word.
yeah,
Thank you for the invite.
right.
I
See you
wish I
next
could
time.
come. I'll see you next time.
Next time.
Boom. Thank you for the
For the
invite. I'll
invite.
see you next
See you
time.
next time. Total
This
control,
is
total empowerment,
game changer.
right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. See you next time.
Yes.
No, no sorries, no sorries.
Sure. This was good. This was
This was
really, really good.
fantastic.
As we
Fantastic.
wrap this up, having enough compassion for humility to apologize to an individual's trait. It's not a matter of eliminating the phrase "I'm sorry" from your vocabulary, but to only use it when it's warranted. Don't apologize for things that are out of your control, whether or not it's your intention. Apologizing excessively can project a poor image to customers, to clients, to coworkers, to friends, and curbing the constant need to apologize requires the same strategy as kicking any other bad habit. With time and effort, you'll be able to say goodbye to over apologizing and hello. This says to reclaiming your power, but I say hello to
With
replacing sorry with thank
with
you.
thank you.
Give yourselves a round of applause. Sorry, not sorry. What to say instead. And I think we have covered that well.
I agree with that. Fantastic. And so we would say, I'm excited about, taking the time to be self-aware, right? So for our listeners out there, if you've got ways that you could share with us on maybe some of the things that you feel you could replace sorry with thank you, please drop it, share it with us here, give us a comment, let us know how this made you feel. Try the exercise with a loved one, a coworker, a friend, or a peer,
Yeah.
and take time to be self-aware. Journal how many times you are saying it, and if it's a particular action or a person, or something that is just, maybe you're just in an uncomfortable spot, and that's what comes to mind. Now you can just replace that with a little bit more leverage and feeling more confident, without saying I'm sorry, not sorry.
Listen, and listen to our Ebs and Ivory Viberies. If you guys keep hanging out with us, first of all, you see the gems that we drop. So I'm really excited because like you said in the beginning, like we come up with these topics like yesterday. Like
Yeah,
that one was today. But this is how important because nobody's talking about that. I mean, there's articles, you'll find things, but nobody that I've come across has told me I'm 53 years old and I'm just getting this. I hope that somebody hears this, that it changes it just puts them in a different level when they're able to stand up for themselves and to themselves and become that empowered person. I think that is our goal here on Ebs and Ivory. And again, if you stop by, we thank you for listening and we ask that you would we thank you for like, sharing, and subscribing and commenting as Dee has said, words that you've used to say sorry or to not say sorry in times that maybe you've said it that you feel like nothing else was warranted but that word. I'd like to hear that too. But
yeah.
we that this is great. You want to say anything else before I close this out?
No, no, this is awesome. Like I said, you've covered all of that. You guys can see all of our information. We do know that this is episode 7, not 6. So hey, we're human and we never deny that here, but that's okay. But I am
The rise and the level.
what are we wealth winners? What did you just say? To we're Ebs and
The Ebs
Ivory
and Ivory vibe.
vibes
I don't
rivalry.
know yet. We're getting
That's
there.
okay. We
You're
keep throwing it
vibing
out.
with the Ebs and Ivory.
Yeah, I think we should ask for people to vote. Like,
Ooh,
what have you
yes.
heard so far? What have you heard so far for our friends, and our are scribers, if you will? Are they Ivers? Ebsen, I like that. Viberies.
Oh,
Yeah.
Ivory.
Reese, yeah.
Vibing with the Evan Ivory.
I love that. Take us out of here. We are
So
getting ready to roll
again,
into a great weekend.
oh my goodness, we're going to wrap up another thought-provoking, fun, and forward exercise and articles. Shout out to the authors of those articles, boy. And we hope that you've been inspired. We have to hope that you have a great weekend and that you tap into your excellence, that you be safe
Be kind.
and sorry, not sorry.
That's no.
Have a beautiful weekend.
That is love.
That is love. You are love.
Yeah, love.